Hi everyone, it's Em and
Dee.
back again for our coffee review. I'm hoping you guys have had a really good Sunday. We've had a really busy, hectic Sunday. So but we're looking forward to doing this coffee review. So today, this is today's beast of choice. Blonde roast Leon. It's available in Sainsbury's. I happened to find it in Asda though as I was strolling through there the other day. Took my interest. I thought, oh, it might be good for a coffee review.
If I may, how do you know it's available in Sainsbury's?
It was on their website.
Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing a yellow colour.
I know, but it said it was launched in Sainsbury's, so that was a little while ago, so that may have now spread across to other supermarkets, but yeah, it was Asda.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is Leon, so I was just doing a little bit of research as I do, and Leon is a subsidiary kind of brand of fast food chain across, well, it's based in London. But they're kind of across the UK, Ireland, the Netherlands, Norway, America and India. So they've grown quite a lot. So I'll just tell you a little bit about Leon, the coffee shop brand. So based in the UK, established in 2004, and the company had around 70 outlets, which is pretty good, when it was bought by the EG Group in 2021. So it was founded in 2004 by John Vincent, Henry Dimbleby and Allegra McEvedy. Okay, so that's just a very brief outline of kind of where they're from, where they kind of are. And I think you can also find them in quite a few airports and train stations, etc. So the bean itself. So this is an organic coffee. It's a worldwide land trust coffee. Can be used in the cafetiere or filter. But this one, so they do the ground coffees, but we're using the whole bean because we like our whole beans, don't we, Dee?
Yes.
Very rarely we actually go for a ground coffee.
Yes, because it may not pour correctly. Usually it's not espresso ground.
No.
They mean it for cafetiere, usually, in the UK at least.
Thanks for that, Dee. No, thanks. So this is whole bean, 200 grams. In Asda it was on offer for £3. So yeah, the origin is Peru and Honduras. It's Arabica bean. Tasting notes, it says smooth caramel with a hint of citrus. And we said about the blonde roast. So it sounds pretty good. There's a nice backstory to the beans as well and where they're sourced from. Leon had a partnership with Puro Fairtrade Coffee. They're well known for funding the purchase and protection of rainforest reserves in coffee producing countries. So this whole theme of preservation, being environmentally aware and ecologically aware is really important to this coffee bean and the growers. So a partnership grew between Puro, so that's a coffee brand that is also passionate about making a difference. And they source their coffee beans from small-scale farmers in Peru, Honduras and Ethiopia, and use organic and sustainable farming practices. So they're really kind of into that whole thing. And they were in Honduras doing some filming for a film that they were making. And they met up with a fair trade organic cooperative local to Honduras called Cookery, who were at the time of the partnership again passionate about tackling environmental problems. So that was kind of more locally to Honduras and the area that they were in. And that was to do with the coffee wastewater pollution. Co-op went out to tackle this problem, and that was in 2014. And then Puro and Cookery kind of got this relationship going over about 3 years. And together they created La Finca de Puro Cafe.
Some sort of there's a conscientiousness, is that a word? They're quite.
That's it. That's exactly the word, Dee, that I wasn't saying. They are very conscientious about how they're growing the beans, making sure the beans are organic, that no pesticides are used to make them grow faster, to give the end user, the coffee drinkers, a really ethical and good coffee bean experience. So yeah, they always stay very true to their environmental roots, and they've carried on with that. And their Puro have also become a fair trade organic coffee co-op member to the Cockrabistal cooperative. And basically Puro helps to distribute the coffee worldwide. Yeah, I think with it kind of being in Honduras and all those kind of areas, you've got the higher altitudes there that they use to make the beans a bit sweeter and nicer. The beans themselves are 100% Arabica, triple certified for the Leon coffee brand. And it says that they're careful to deliver notes of smooth caramel and a hint of citrus with a little acidity. So we're going to go into, we didn't do it last week because it's a normal packet. We're going to go into the packet test because it's one thing I don't like about coffee bean packets. Some of them are really great, just easy to open. Others, it's like having a battle with them.
Yeah.
And we like to look at all these kind of areas. So let's see what they're like.
Battle mode.
Battle mode, so that's not working at all. Let's see if we can do it on the
top. It's going to go all over the floor.
Yeah, I'll just do it over here. If I can. No, that's pure battle mode. Okay.
That is opening proof.
So, first criticism is packaging. It's really hard to open, but it might mean that they're really fresh. Beans, and also I'm just noticing that it's a plastic packet.
No aluminium foil inside.
No, it doesn't look like there's any aluminium foil inside, so there usually is. So we can see if that kind of affects the quality of the bean. And I'm just going to check to see if I can see when these were actually packaged. Let's have a look. It doesn't really say. Oh, no, not on that side. Or on that side. So it usually does say when it's packaged, doesn't it? I can't see it on there. No.
It's well hidden.
It might be very well hidden to the point it's not on there. But let's see. Oh, it says see the end of pack. No. Best before. I think we'll have to come back to that because I really can't see that on there.
Is there a best before?
It says on best before see the end of pack.
In fact, best before alone is not enough.
No,
you really should know.
So I can't see that. So many of the coffee beans that we've used before actually do have that information on.
Yeah.
So you know when it's actually been packed, so you know how long it's been in the container, etc. So there's, I guess, unless you actually really sift through the internet, you're not really going to know. I didn't see anything on there about the packing dates and things. Anyway, no worries.
One thing we have noticed is as they age, even if it's a really good packing, as it is, as the days go by, get a slightly more woody taste in the final cup.
Yeah. So we'll have a think about that when we get to it and see if that's the case with these or not. Okay. Give me a moment, I'm just going to go and get my trusty knife to cut it. So that's 1 point off for awkwardness. I'll just find the biggest knife I can to do it. Oops. Stab aside, brilliant. So, so I've ripped the packet.
Yeah, so that is a big flaw.
That's a big flaw. The beans themselves, oh, here we go. So there we go. That's the beans. Okay. So, I don't know. It's not very blonde. but they've got a nice smell to them. They smell slightly over.
Yeah, it's a darker roast than I was expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot lighter than that, and it smells slightly over roasted. But we'll give it a go. We'll see what that's like. And they feel they're very light.
That's another indication of
Over.
high level of roasting.
This is it. There's no. I'll let you feel, Dee. You feel that there doesn't seem to be any weight to those beans.
They feel very light.
So potentially over roasted, but we'll see.
Yeah, to be called a blood roast.
Yeah. Let me just tap that. Okay, so this would be. Okay. I'll just give these a quick wipe out. Right, here we go. Just start off slowly. Nice. Let's ramp it up. Okay, there we go. I think that's. What do you think? Yeah.
It's going well.
Okay, we'll stop there. Okay, right, Dee. There you go, my lovely. Let's see if it has a caramel taste with citrusy undertones. Okay, so smells okay.
It smells a little bit like you said about the roast.
Mm.
Okay, let's see the taste.
Yeah. Okay, let's give it a go.
Mm.
That's quite earthy.
Yeah.
I can taste that acidic.
Yeah, yeah.
The acidic side to it that it mentioned.
It's got an aftertaste. That's not too bad.
The aftertaste is fruity. I think
But there is no sweetness during the sip.
No. So that caramel side, unless they're talking about it being slightly burnt caramel,
Yeah.
I can't really taste the caramel, what I would consider to be a caramel.
Yes.
And like Dee's saying, it's not sweet either.
Mm. It's just there is a slight bitterness which is converting to a
Yeah.
sort of a sweet aftertaste.
Yeah.
Long after, but the coffee itself leaves a lot more to be desired.
Yeah, I don't think it's one of the best ones that we've had. So I think the observations we've made about the packaging, I think they might benefit from a foil packaging because, you know, by the time they've packed it and everything, you do need that there just to ensure that it keeps its freshness and it's true to its taste signature as well.
Mm.
So they've obviously come up with this taste signature from tasting it.
Yes,
And
we have many cases where the taste signature they describe appears to be very accurate.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we seem to get the same taste they're talking about on the packet.
yeah.
And this is one of those instances where we are not able to quite connect.
Yeah, it's just slightly
to what
off
you said earlier about.
from its description. So,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it much on the packaging. I think that's something that they could have concentrated on a bit more for the end user.
Yes.
And
do you want to show the flap thing?
Yeah.
It's just a thin layer of plastic.
It's very thin, and I don't know how that can actually
Yeah.
really keep the freshness in if they're serious about.
No, I don't think it can.
And it's a shame because if you think about the backstory to the beans and the work that's gone into it, to then let the product down by having plastic, also when they're environmentally aware, I think that's slightly off kilter as well. And that's, you know, both the coffee producer, and Leon as a restaurant chain as well, that are really seem to be very sincere about their ecological ethos as well. And I think they were one of the first companies to have mainly vegan and vegetarian choices as well for their foods. And so they're trying to be really aware, but what a shame they've let the product down with that. But other than that,
it's an interesting taste. I wouldn't put it down. It's just not, because there's so much competition out there. There's so many there's so much choice out there. There's so many very interesting beans for very reasonable prices in supermarket nowadays.
Yeah, that's right, Dee. That's right, you're right. And also I think maybe it's relying a little bit too heavily on it being a product for that chain. For Leon, it's obviously the beans they use in theirs, etc. But I think you've got to be sincere to the product and the people producing it as well. And maybe that's let it down slightly.
Yes.
So, on that dull note, well, think about where it might go on the leaderboard. For me, it would be not in the top 10.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in the top 10.
No.
Maybe the top 15. A push the top 20.
There's so many good beans there.
There's so many good beans there. So yeah, never mind, Leon. Maybe you'll get it right in the future. Well,
it needs a little bit more sugars in the bean. That allows itself to be caramelized when roasted. So if it's not there in the beginning, whatever you do with the roast is not going to create it.
No, this is it, and maybe I don't know enough about
maybe it's just the variety of bean,
process.
But it does have the Arabica smoothness to it.
It's got some really nice
It's just
aspects.
too plant.
So that's our review of the blonde bean from Leon. If I see any other of the dark roast beans, then we'll review that from Leon.
Yes.
We'll review that. But that's just as and when it comes up. We haven't got any chain of Leon where we are. So it was kind of a bit of a new thing for us to look at. But so I hope you've enjoyed this coffee review on this occasion. And we'll be back next time with another coffee to review. Have a great weekend or Sunday evening. And see you next week, guys. Bye from M and
D.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.